I could never do that darn thing. It'd take 3 boys and a man. I just have.
Tell me when.
When?
Say what I meant.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Always. Hello. What can I get you, Sandra? What would you like here? Hello. Okay, come on. Oh, thank you.
Can I have a glass of Merlot?
Yes, ma'am.
Test. Another couple minutes to settle, and then I can hand it to Sandra. Are you trying to get me?
I had to go get the doctor stuff done this morning.
Right. Oh,
But this mic is
got it. So if you
there, Mr. Martinez.
Hi, Sweetie. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're fine.
does this have to be pointed? I had it. Put it to the curtain.
It's made really for streams. It reminds me of this story of one that sounds like it smells like fried ham.
How you doing, huh?
Hi, Terry. Greetings. How are you? Greetings. Everything good?
How are you? Good. How are you?
Cindy. Hi, Terry. Nice to meet you. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Oh, good luck with that. You just got to roll with it, right? Like overwhelm will come in.
Yes, you're desire to bring sightsee. Not that I have anything
Yeah.
to do with the
I
ring.
finished the test for the second brushing.
Maybe.
My first rodeo.
Well, I think that's like, we give away food. It's like Costco, right? You sample stuff, people will come.
I did tell you to put you up for a Q&A at some time, but that idea was kind of shut down. You already been filming this whole time while I'm standing here?
Test, test.
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I love that. Yes, it is. How are the snacks a hit?
Yes, definitely.
Good, good. So I don't have a real formal agenda for today. I was just going to give some updates and we're going to share. I think Terry's going to chat a little bit today, maybe. Sure. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll let the team come up. But pleasure to be here. And I wanted to I know that first what I wanted to talk about, and I know that there's been a lot of discussion about positions, people are leaving. We've had some open positions, and we are excited to announce that most of Carolee's positions have been filled. You've seen her up at the concierge desk, and so she'll get into details who the team is that she's brought on. But we did hire a driver. Yay. We've hired some concierge folks, and then we have more concierge to hire. And then I will, and Nancy's last day is Friday, in 2 days. So I will let Carolee come and introduce the person that will be coming in and stepping into her shoes. But I will let Carolee talk about all of that. But I just wanted to let you all know that these positions, we've been really focused on recruitment and focused on filling these positions because we know that it impacts the organization when we have these. But Carolee's been doing a great job covering all the holes, and we'll continue to move forward. And I don't know if you've met the new housekeepers, but the housekeeping positions that were open have been filled, and we have some housekeepers that are currently being in orientation, so you'll see some new faces. Welcome them when you see them. And also the deep cleaning. I know that we've been talking about the deep cleaning, and Mina is in the process of, we have screened and down to the final interviews of some temp housekeepers that will come in and do that work specifically for that work, and do that over a course of I'm not sure how long it'll take. It depends on how you all sign up for the slots, but that will be moving forward. Mina's doing the final interviews this week. We'll get them onboarded, hoping to have a plan to you all, the detailed plan to you all soon in the next few weeks. Mina can talk a little bit about it at Environmental Services Committee this coming week, but we haven't forgotten. We are moving that along. It's just taking a little bit longer than we had anticipated, but we have not forgotten that project. I wanted to, that we've been doing a lot of work this year on disaster planning and fire drill, and updating with the disaster committee, updating our plan, reviewing it, having committees working with a consultant to make sure that we have a plan that integrates within the whole campus. And not only, it's Acacia specific, and also it's Acacia integrated with all of Union City, because if one of us has to evacuate, we probably all need to evacuate and work together in this. And so we need to be speaking the same language, having our processes everyone trained on what that looks like. So I'm happy to say that we did campus-wide, everybody disaster drill, and we did a tabletop. Terry was there, all the managers and were there from Lorber, from Wallenberg, from Pavilion, from Acacia, and we had somebody giving us a scenario, and we set up the incident command, and then we'd be chugging along, and then they'd throw in a curveball, and we'd have to come together and come up with a new plan, and we did that. It was a really dynamic, engaging training, and we just had our what we call it after action review to see what went well, what we could work on, and we have some follow-up items that we from that meeting, and there'll be various committees working on that, moving that forward. So that was really exciting. And the feedback from the team was they found it really engaging to be in an active kind of learning environment where dealing with scenarios versus just sort of like a PowerPoint where people are training you. So more to come on that, and we plan to continue to do that work throughout the year. It's not a one and done, but it's just going to be part of our overall risk management, disaster planning process and culture. And some of you know, some of you don't know that I'm going to Thailand for a couple of weeks. I leave tomorrow morning, and Mina is going to be covering for me, and Terry will be, you'll see a lot of Terry in the next, over the next 2 weeks. And then I'll be back back in the office February 3rd and here through the last month till February 25th to work with Terry on all of the things transition. So with that, that's all I have for today. I don't know if we want to have questions or if I want to pass, if Terry wants to come say a few words. Yes. We do not have a replacement for Kevin. We're still recruiting. We do have Matt. What's Matt's last name? Yes, thank you. Matt Patrick from Masonic Homes on the campus, part of our organization, is helping us and helping to support Freddie with all the things that Freddie has been covering. And he's been a great support and helping the team when we're having things that might be over our head that we need some expertise to solve. So he's been a great support and very responsive. But we are actively recruiting. Yes.
Team member of the quarter.
Team member of the quarter. Is Penny going to? Penny's going to do it. Okay. Yes.
The question is, can we share with you what's happening with Kevin? And frankly, I can't. It's all still kind of covered in the privacy policy, and obviously for reasons. We are recruiting for a number of environmental services positions, including 2 supervisors. So I had a conversation with Raphael about that this morning. We have some ideas about how we're kind of manning the work in the interim while we're trying to recruit. It's a tough position to fill. So we're putting together a plan to bring in some temp staff, just like we are for deep cleaning, to be able to help us fill the gap in the meantime. So unfortunately, I can't share about anybody in particular. Sorry. We are restructuring the entire kind of department to end up with 2 supervisors, one that will be primarily responsible for probably Acacia Pavilion, at least as it exists right now, and then one for the rest of the campus. So yeah, we're kind of restructuring the entire department to get better coverage and better cross coverage so that when we do have a vacancy or an issue, we have better cross coverage in the entire campus. So 2 supervisors, I think 4 line staff right now, meaning housekeepers and techs. So it's, there's a lot going on there. Yes, ma'am. Would you like to use the microphone?
Yes, I feel that Freddie has been just doing such an unbelievable job. He is a can-do man, always with a smile. He is knowledgeable, and I think he deserves all the support in every respect that you can give him.
I couldn't agree more. I was here at the all staff, the all team member meeting at whatever that was today, and sat next to Freddie. And I'm happy to tell you he's in good spirits. I expected him to look a little haggard. And he actually is in really good spirits, has a sense of humor, appreciates all of you and the positive feedback. I shared some of that with him about all the great things that you've had to say about the work that he's doing. And he was very appreciative of all that. So thank you all for that. And it's nice to be able to, important to be able to recognize people that are working really hard and going above and beyond when we need them to go above and beyond. So thank you all for making sure he knows that. Thank you.
Back to Kevin, I don't want to invade his privacy or ask you to do it, but does he need cards from us? Does he need some kind of an acknowledgement of how much we appreciate all he's done for us, and that, you know, we're supportive of him in whatever's happening? I mean, how do we make that happen with?
So any time you want to send a card to a staff member, you can drop it at the front desk and we'll forward it on. So we want people to know that we're thinking about them for sure. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I stood up to start talking about that and I got distracted. So I can't use the phrase elephant in the room because that feels derogatory. The princess in the room, how's that? So the big news, obviously, in the last few weeks has been Sandra's great opportunity to move to Enzo Village as the CEO, and that means that she'll be leaving us. And we are sad and heartbroken about that. And as we are with all people who we love and care about and are invited to do good things with their life, we're also very happy for her, right? So we want nothing but great things for Sandra, and know that she is going to rock their world and turn Enzo Village on its ear in a really wonderful and beautiful way. So we're excited for her, excited for Enzo Village and all the people of Healdsburg. So congratulations, Sandra. Yes, I agree. The first of many kind words that we will have. We're not done with that, right? So what we will be doing is we are beginning the recruiting process, reaching out at least the first pass is to kind of the network of people that we know in the industry. So we have a recruiter, his name is Robert Coletta. He's the person who brought us Sandra and the other finalists that we had. So he is busily reaching out to his network to see who in that group might be interested in coming to work for Acacia Creek and getting to know all of you wonderful people. So we're beginning that recruiting process now. The process will go much, I think, like it did last time, that there's a small group of residents that will have the opportunity to interview the finalists. I usually do kind of first blush interviews after our recruiter has done his thing and made sure that they have the skill set and looked at them and talked to them. Then he brings them to me. Then I will bring them to a group of residents and staff and leadership so that they'll have a chance to make sure that we're choosing the right person. So that process has already kind of begun behind the scenes. It can be quite time consuming, as you can imagine, to one, find people, two, find time in their schedule and ours to talk to them and meet with them, to get them in front of a whole bunch of folks. The last time I think Sandra spent the entire day here interviewing with folks. So it is a fairly arduous process, as it should be. It's a big responsibility, so we want to make sure that we've got the right person. And then they'll have to give notice wherever they are, right? So it will take us a little while. What will happen in the meantime, so that you know, and beginning next week, while Sandra's in Thailand, I'll be in her office at least 2 days a week. Right now it's scheduled Tuesday and Thursday. So I'll be in her office full-time 2 days a week. You'll find me there. And if you have questions or concerns, you can find me there, or the front desk. Carol Lee, Mina, everybody else knows where to find me if I'm not in that office. Then upon her departure on the 25th of February, I'll pick up the same schedule and plan to be here at Acacia Creek at least a couple days a week. Juggling that a little bit with the homes up the hill and the homes down in Covina, but that is my intention. Maybe a little bit of wiggle in it, but that's my intention, to be in Acacia Creek for at least a couple days a week. Does that make sense to everybody? Any objections to me being on campus 2 days a week? Yes, well, I got that one. Yeah, I tried, Bill. Trust me. Yeah, if only it was that easy, right? So, like I told somebody in the dining room, you'll be sick of me before you know it. But my plan is to be here a couple days a week. So you'll know, and schedule appointments with me just as you would have with Sandra. So I'll be around. I think Sandra touched on the disaster training that we did, which was really valuable. There'll be a future drill in which we engage residents as well. So really trying to make sure that we have this, as dialed in as you can get it. Disasters very rarely happen Monday through Friday between 8 and 5 o'clock has been my experience. So we're also going to engage our PM shift, our knock shift, our weekend shift, to make sure that the folks who aren't, when the leadership isn't all here, who's in charge and what did they know? So we're really taking a pretty comprehensive approach to this, and we'll include residents as well. We all know that the first blush is that we shelter in place, right? But there could be a scenario in which we had to evacuate. So we want to make sure that we're all prepared for that. So that's a large focus for us this year as well. Occupancy is good and continues to rise. Thank you, Amy LeGrant and Jackie and the entire sales team here at Acacia Creek. We're continuing to see move-ins and new deposits. I think we're sold to 93 or 94% right now. So that continues to be great news to have a full house. And now having a plan and building a wait list to keep it full moving forward is the next step too, right? So good stuff happening. Along with the disaster response is preparation and making sure mitigating risks. So Raphael and his team are doing some brush assessment to make sure that we're starting to clear some overgrowth. We've trimmed some trees from power lines and from cell towers. We think we're bringing the cows back to chew on the grass up the hill. So you'll have something to look forward to in that regard. We took them out because we thought we were going to have solar panels up there, and that didn't pan out as a solar field. So I think we're bringing the cows back to, yes. So I know. It's very inexpensive labor. So it's good stuff for us, right? And the weeds have gotten tall up in the, whatever that is, East 40. And so we want to make sure that we're doing that brush management and land management to make sure that we're not creating any more risks than necessary. Also evaluating some trees to see if they not only create a fire risk, but we've got some trees that have been here for a very long time, in some cases 127 years, and looking at the safety of some of those trees and whether or not they need to be reduced in size or removed. Sadly, sometimes it isn't possible to save them in the place that they're at. So you'll see more of that going on the campus as well. We don't take anything green out without deep concern or regard for how do we save it first. So if you see some of that happening, it's because it's unavoidable and it's a safety issue. So, and just a little reminder, when the cones and the caution tape go up, it really means please don't. We've had, the last time we removed some trees and trimmed some trees, we had a whole bunch of looky-loos that were like, oh, that caution tape is a suggestion. No, it really isn't. So if you see cones and caution tape, please abide by it and stay on the right side of it. It disrupts work and puts you at risk as well. So questions for me, concerns? Oh, I know you better than that. Run, run. I can't run very fast and I don't want to run. I'm happy.
I'm just curious, are we actually ever going to be allowed to build anything else on this campus?
Your guess is as good as mine. So I know some of you know this, right? That there is a group of concerned citizens in Union City called Save the Hills. And so they organized and passed an ordinance some years ago that basically prevents us from building anything that is visually, that you can see from Mission Boulevard. See from Mission Boulevard. That requires us moving a substantial amount of dirt or relocating any significant, what they consider to be landmarks, i.e. boulders and trees. Well, that pretty much eliminates most everything that we have here. That said, we have had conversations with the city. Once upon a time, we attempted to get a ballot passed for a project here that would include a memory care center. It was going to include some housing and I think some low-income housing, and that did not pass because in order to do anything outside that ordinance, it takes a public ballot. So we have to get a majority of support from Union City to be able to build anything on our property. Yeah, I see a few head shaking. I feel the same way. So we have explored some legal remedies, continuing to, I'm looking at you, Bill Quirk, continuing to look for opportunities to talk with state representatives to say, is there any workaround on this in the interest of if the city has a requirement to provide housing and we're willing to be part of that solution, let's say we were, do they have any influence over this ordinance? So that's where we sit right now. We'll see. More to come. Yes, Bill.
You know, if you're really serious about it, I can make some calls and have you meet some people. So contact me later.
That's why I was looking at you. We don't have a plan, so people are like, oh, what do you have in mind? I have nothing in mind. I think that what I have in mind is finding out before we go to the expenses, start putting together plans, finding out whether or not we actually can get there. So I would be very much interested in that conversation.
I'm reasonably sure. I'm reasonably sure it would take legislation that would basically outlaw this sort of thing statewide. So it's not simple. But if you really wanted to address it, then we should get the chair of the housing committees engaged.
It's good to know people who know people. Thank you, Bill. Yes.
Go back to being, sorry. Basically, can we get a divorce from Union City and go back to being part of the county only?
I'm not a divorce lawyer. Thank God. So I don't know. I find that hard to imagine that you can unannex yourself from the city. Yeah, it's easier. It's hard to annex. I imagine it's a lot harder to unannex, right? Easy to get married, hard to get divorced. So a justice of the peace can get you married. Divorcing is much more complicated, as it is with land law.
Even then, you're in the sphere of influence of Union City, so it's, even if you were able to get a divorce, it's not clear to me Union City couldn't put its foot down.
To be clear, it doesn't mean that the city of Union City officials are opposed to development. It means that they don't have they don't have the ability to override this ordinance. So even if our mayor and city council are supportive of us being able to provide housing and services to Union City residents, they don't have the ability to override that ordinance. So it's not a small effort. Yes, ma'am.
When you drive up Mission and you get to Hayward and you see all those houses on the hill, I really like looking at the hills without the houses. So I have very mixed feelings. I mean, I think it's very nice that I love the view of the hills.
Thus the dilemma. I think that the last plan that was floated didn't move into the hills. It was just the flatlands that we're farming right now for a whopping couple $1,000s a year. That's what that entire real estate is creating for us, which isn't much, right? So I think that if there were a plan, and again, I'm totally getting over my skis here, but the last plan was just relating to that flatland along Mission Boulevard. It was not to terrace and develop the hillsides, but that didn't pass either. It failed by a significant majority. So, and it costs a lot of money to get something like that on the ballot. So it's not something you do lightly. It costs a lot of money to create the plan and to do the work and the marketing, if you will. So, yes, sir.
We could, being it's agriculture, we could bring in a bunch of hogs. And I think in about 6 months' time, Union City would throw out that ordinance by themselves.
Don't think it hasn't crossed my mind. I figure hog farming, we get their attention at least, right? Yeah. So, so stay tuned. I'm not sure what the course for that looks like or what the timeline would look like, but it would, as Bill said, it would not be a small lift because we're not the only city that has these challenges. When I lived in Carlsbad, we had a similar situation. 3 corners of a major intersection had been completely developed, including a car dealership. The 4th corner, which happened to be a lovely strawberry field where families have been coming and picking their own strawberries for generations. They tried to develop that land, failed miserably because people have a sentimental attachment to the strawberry fields. So even though all the other corners of that intersection had already been developed. So we're not the only ones that struggle with this issue. But it is an opportunity, I believe, for the state to think about how we're going to solve the housing problems if we continue to have these restrictions in place. Responsible growth, if you will, not tearing up the hills. I think that's all for me. And other really kind of cool news, we don't have a board meeting in January for the first time in a very long time because the Acacia Creek Masonic Home boards met together for the very first time in December. We had 20 board members in the room, which was great. And everybody is getting to know one another and what the opportunities and challenges are throughout the Union City campus, not just Acacia Creek or Masonic Homes, but what they all are for us collectively. So I think it was a great day. There was a lot of getting up to speed going on. And I think that momentum will continue. Most of the feedback, all the feedback was very positive. So looking forward to a few less board meetings in the year. That also makes us a little more productive, which is a great thing for me. And I think everybody is continuing to learn and grow together, which is wonderful. So that was big news for us. That means that we have no board meeting in January. Woohoo! Anything else for me? Thank you all. Who's up? Penny. Oh, you got the big news.
Oh, yes. Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Hey, let's start with team member of the quarter. Okay, and you've already acknowledged the great work that Freddie has done, and Freddie did win it this quarter, so definitely well deserved. And I will tell you, that guy has the weight of the world on his shoulders, but is always smiling and, oh, I'll do that for you. So really, he's done a bang up job. So thank you all for supporting him and for voting for him, Residents Council. Okay, I have a few things. When is it? Tomorrow, we have fall prevention with a representative from Washington Hospital who is going to come in and talk about how to prevent falls and how to mitigate injury when you do fall. Did you know that there is a way to fall where you kind of throw your body around and you roll and you don't land on your face? Yes. So they're going to touch upon that tomorrow and talk about how to reduce tripping hazards in your apartment. And speaking of tripping hazards, we have another speaker on the 22nd coming in to talk about decluttering, but it is with a little bit of twist. It is called The Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. How is that for a provocative title? Okay, and I believe we called it Freedom in Letting Go. That's what we're calling it. But it is this new form of decluttering where you're really mindful about what you're keeping, why you're keeping it, and really what kind of legacy do you want to leave, and what do you want to leave for your loved ones to deal with. So it's a lot to think about, and it's going to be a very nice presentation next week on the 22nd. And we have some meetings coming up in February. We did Join the Mix in 26, and we just talked about what do we want to create here this year. And out of that meeting, we decided to have Join the Mix meeting about learning and growth opportunities. What can we create more of? What do you guys want? So we're going to have that meeting February 1st, 1 o'clock in the game room. And if you're interested in talking about that, or you just want to come in and listen, join us. That's on a Sunday. And then on February 10th, we will be talking about card games and other games you want to play. I know there's new residents interested in starting up new games, and some of you that have been here a while want to revisit games. So let's meet and talk about what the heck we want to do that's fun and good for our brains. Those games are good for our brains as well. Okay, Alex Weinstein from MCYF, he will be here on February 3rd, kind of a come in and meet me and let's chat. So it's an open meeting on February 3rd. And then the following week on the 10th, he will start his next 8-week series. This is a group of people that meet that are looking for a little extra support. Want to just talk about things that might be causing a little stress, how to handle changes. So there's something for everybody in this. The flyers are up. If you're interested in signing up and being part of that, you can call him directly. And if you want to meet him, just come to that meeting on the 3rd, and then you could decide if you want to sign up or if you want to see him one-on-one. And I really want to talk about the difference that it has made having MCYF on the campus and the support they've offered. This has been a void we've had in the community, and it's been invaluable, the support. So I hope you are all availing yourself of that. And think of it as just another service. We all have our team of people that we look for care, our self-care. And our physicians, dentists, chiropractors, some of us acupuncturists, and some of us it's counselors. So it's whatever it takes for us to live our best life. So check that out if you are interested. Okay, we have a karaoke group starting up. New resident Peter Chang, he is ready to do some singing. He's been talking to other residents that are ready to sing. And February 3rd, 1:30, right here in the Turkey Roost, he is going to have his first karaoke time. And if you want to sing along, the words will be up on the screen. If you want to solo, oh, the microphone will be yours. But it's a lot of fun. Singing is just good for the soul. So please do check that out. Okay, and February 8th, that is Super Bowl Sunday. There will be some sort of fun Super Bowl viewing here. The Residents Council usually does the Super Bowl pool. So see Bill if you want to organize that, right, Bill?
Right.
Okay. And every year for the last 3 years, Marilyn Singer, I'm going to call her out because I appreciate Marilyn doing this, has created this secret friend where people can put their name in a box and they become a secret friend to somebody else who puts their name in the box, and you give and receive nice little messages. And it is to spread joy. It's not about romantic love. It's about our brotherly, sisterly love that we have on campus. And she's doing it again this year. And if you would like to take advantage of that, this is a great way to spread good feelings. And some people maybe don't have as many friends as others, don't have loved ones close by. Why not just join in and spread a little love and cheer? The box for that will appear in the mailroom the last week in January. On January 6th, Marilyn will collect up all the names and then assign everybody a secret friend. So you give and receive, but it's different people. It's not the same people. And then on February 13th, we're going to have a little Valentine get together right here in the Turkey Roost. Linda Fuentes will be playing piano. We have some special Valentine cocktails and mocktails we'll be serving, and some lovely treats. And that is where you could come and find out who your secret friend is. Any questions about that? Okay, well, I think I am, oh no, I just wanted to say I'm continuing my trivia. The second and fourth Sundays of the month, come do trivia. We have a lot of fun. It's teams, and we're always looking for more people. And I'm continuing my stretch Mondays at 3 o'clock. Next Monday is a holiday, but I will be here with Olive, so join us for a little stretch in the lobby. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hey, there we are. Hello, hi. Okay, so I'm up. So as Sandra alluded, we do have a lot of fun positions that are open in concierge and lifestyles. We also have some fun people coming on board. So first I want to introduce, I don't know if you've noticed her behind the camera. She is not just a camera woman, but she is our new lifestyles coordinator. Yay! Her name is Cindy. She started yesterday, so literally today's her second day, I guess you can say, and we've already put her to work. So, what's that?
Her email.
Oh yes, we'll give you her email, but it is literally her second day. So she is working closely with Nancy until Friday, where Nancy is taking everything out of her brain and putting it in Cindy's brain. Okay, so we will have no worries. Warn Cindy that she does have big shoes to fill. Nancy has been with us for 9 years, if we can all believe that, how time flies. 10 and a half? Okay, 10 and a half. I stand corrected, but who's counting, right? 10 and a half years. So that's been a long legacy here at Acacia Creek. So, yeah, you got big shoes to fill. But I am confident Cindy will be able to take the charge. She is creative. She's a recreation therapist. She comes to us from Baywood Court, so she's worked in the industry before. So she knows how senior living works. So I am super duper excited to have you on board and joining our team. So welcome, Cindy. Okay, we also have a new part-time concierge. Her name is Iman. She's here today. So if you haven't seen her or introduced yourself, please go and introduce yourself to her. She is working closely with Iman and Imani. It's very tricky, especially when they're working together. But Imani is working hard to train Iman. She'll be training for about 10 shifts, and then she'll be on her own. So go down and give her a warm acacia welcome. Tomorrow is Nora's last day, so we're going to be sending her off. She graduated with her RN degree, and she got a job as a registered nurse with Samaritan Health Hospital. So very excited for her. So if you see her, wish her well. Nor. Yeah, I know, yeah. So she's been looking for a while, so I knew she was going to be leaving the nest, as they say, and I'm super excited for her because I know she is ready to take on her nursing career. So Sandra said, "Oh, we've hired a driver." I'm like, "We have?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, maybe she knows something I don't know." Because I had a driver in the pipeline, but I didn't know that the driver accepted the position. So I looked. The driver has accepted the position. Woo! And she's currently doing all of her HR stuff, getting her DMV polls. So as soon as that all comes together, we're looking at her first for her start date to be the beginning of February. So we will have a new driver. So that was super exciting. Thank you. That's all right. And we have the last position that I have open then is the concierge supervisor position. So Leanne left us at the end of December. We've upgraded her position from a full-time concierge to a concierge supervisor. So I'm in the process of interviewing for that position. I've had some in-person interviews the last week or two, so we'll be making that decision in the next week, calling all the references, putting all the stuff into HR. So we're still looking at about a couple weeks for that position to be full. And then once that's done, Concierge and Lifestyles team is back in action. And I can't wait. Okay, so that's all the big news for me. I do have a couple of fun things for you to keep on the calendar. On the 16th at 2 p.m., we will have a talk here in the Turkey Roost on protection from scams and fraud with Kevin Roach, who is the VP of Wealth Advising from Father Finance. He's going to talk to us about the common scams that we see, especially those targeting seniors, signs that you may be targeted, and what you can do to keep yourself protected from frauds. So it's going to be here at 2 o'clock. Then, right after that, at 3:30, we're going to be having our send-off celebration for Nancy, right here in the Turkey Roost. I have mixed emotions about that. I want to be like super excited for her, and at the same time, I'm losing a good friend that I'm not going to see every day. So there's that. So we're going to be here at 2 o'clock on Friday to celebrate all the good memories that we've had with Nancy for the last 10 years. So make sure that you come up to do that. On the 23rd, we have another speaker in the boardroom that's going to be talking about strong muscles, strong bones, your best defense against falls with Hershing. Yeah, she's going to talk to us about how a fall can lead to fracture, loss of confidence, loss of independence, and what you can do if you fall down and how to protect yourself from falls. So come on up and hear what she has, the good information she has. Then on the 24th, we will be having Zumba Gold with Pinky. Last Saturday, we had Zumba with her, and it's so much fun. The lobby's full of dancers. If you have not come down and done it with Pinky, come on down. You're going to have a blast. I guarantee you. And that's all I got. Last but not least, yes, Mr. Lyman. Great. We will get to you second. I had Linda who would like to make an announcement. You're in text.
Good afternoon. I am going to be running the collection for the Children's Hospital, the Shriners Children's Hospital, that we do every February. It's usually right around Valentine's Day. In the past, Carol Huff has handled it and has done it beautifully for well over 10 years and raised over $200,000. She's not able to do it this year. She asked if I would help, and I said I would. For those who are not familiar with this, the Shriners Hospital and the Masons here are very closely associated. The Children's Hospital is in Sacramento. I am a pediatric nurse by profession, and I have had 2 opportunities in my career to see what miracles the Shriners Hospital has done. One was a little 8-year-old boy who burned his right leg. He started a fire and he had 2nd and 3rd degree burns. They airlifted him to Shriners, and it was probably about a year later that I saw him in the clinic, maybe a little longer. That child was just absolutely beaming, very happy. His leg had many skin grafts. They'd healed beautifully. And he was a normal kid. The second was a little 2-year-old little girl named Noni, bright red hair and blue eyes, sweet thing. And she was born without the lower part of her right arm. And over the years, when she was 2 and 3, she managed quite well by holding things with her arm and stretching around. And she really compensated beautifully. Her parents took her for a consultation to the Shriners, and they thought they would try a prosthetic arm. And it was about a year later that I saw her, and she was using that arm, and she was doing high fives, and she was absolutely wonderful. This fund that we contribute to helps with the science that the doctors have for making up these new prostheses, for doing the research on how to do skin grafts so that the skin grows with the child. Things that you really don't think about. This fund also helps the parents so that when they go to Sacramento, they pay for nothing. They don't pay for medical care. They don't pay for their own personal housing. They don't pay for their food. And in most cases, it covers the transportation back and forth to home. It is one of those things, and especially now where we have people that are having real problems with health insurance and premiums are going skyrocket and there's all chaos in that area. The people that use these services need these services, and they're very qualified. And if they can, as parents, come and not worry about themselves, they can give all that love and concern to their child and support the child. In about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, you're going to have a flyer in your mailbox. Probably going to have an envelope with it too. If you would be so kind as to give whatever you can, whether it's $5 or $5,000, anything will be very, very appreciated. I send it off to Sacramento, and they will hand it out as it is needed. It's for the greater need. I thank you. I have a goal of $10,000. Help me make it, because these kids really, really do need it. Thank you.
Just a moment. Thank you. Okay, let me get it in view here. Everybody can see me. A few years back, just about before the pandemic hit, we had an activity called ballroom dancing. We had a lady named Diana Lopez. She had two partners helping her. First, it was done with the Masonic Homes and Acacia Creek in the gym. That's as you go up to Seminoff, it's on your right. That's where we did it, and it was in the gym area. Then we moved, they stopped it in the home, and we took it over and had it down in the gym annex for a while until the pandemic hit. Well, now that the pandemic restrictions have eased up, and I have had a chance to speak with Diana and her husband, who's also one of our master lodge. But the main thing is we want to see if we can start the ballroom dancing again. I do want to talk with the homes about this. But what I have in mind is to, if we can put a flyer in the book where people can just write their names down, is to say whether or not they're interested. This is just to find out if how much interest is in this. That's what would help us greatly. Again, I do want to talk with the homes because I think if we're going to make this a success, we do want to bring both groups together, and we'll see where we can do it. Hopefully we can get a place that's large enough where we can have really good space, lots of good dances learned, and just basically have a lot of fun. So at any rate, Carol Lee, is there a chance we can get a flyer to put in? It's just to find out who is interested in a ballroom dance class. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I think that, yes, Mr. John. Oh, okay, coming.
First of all, I want to thank you for volunteering to get all the donations in there. But what I would like to say that we get those soda cans, the tabs, and we get them and save them, and then I take you can deliver them to my room in the mailbox, and then I can take them over to the Masonic Home and give it to one of the ladies over there, where she takes them to another lady, and then they'll take me to the Shrine Hospital in cash, and we make a lot of money there. But we need your help. If you would just save those tabs, collect them, and then give them to me, I'll make sure that they go to the right location. And I thank you very much because it really helps out a lot. Okay.
Thank you for doing that, John. We have a Shriner story.
I was at the grand opening of the Shrine Hospital here in Sacramento. I belonged to Ben Ally Shrine at the time. I'm reminded of one time, as you know, there's units and clubs that belong to the Shrine. They're broke down that way. Each year, each unit, each club has what they call a potentate's visit. So we were having I was president of the Ben Ally Medics that year, and we had a potentate's visit there at the El Camino bowling alley congregation room, and my band had just finished playing there for the Pope's visit. We were tearing down the equipment. We'd taken a load to the car, came back in, and this young lady came approaching me from the side over here and says, Mister, could I talk to you? I turned around and I noticed she had a slight limp in her left leg. But she was 19 years old. Her fiance was with her. She had just completed a bowling league. She said, when I was born, I was deformed. And she says, I've spent some 28 different hospitalizations and surgeries in the Shriners Hospital, and they won't take a dime from my parents. So I wanted to tell somebody with a Shriners fez on, thank you. And I thought, well, the microphone's still set up in there where the podium is. And I said, would you mind coming in and addressing the potentate of Ben Ali Shrine? She says, I'd be glad to. So she showed me a picture of her when she was born. Her left leg, her toes, as she was laying on her stomach, hit the back of her head. Her left hip was so distorted that her leg was simply going the wrong way. And I couldn't believe the recovery because she just finished bowling and she had a slight limp in the left leg, but almost not noticeable. So she came in and she thanked the members who were in the visiting room, and she got a big round of applause. And we passed that picture around, and they couldn't believe the miracle that the Shriners Hospital did for this lady. I just wanted to throw that out.
Pretty amazing what they do at the Shrine Hospital, that's for sure. All right, anything else? All right, that's. Yep. Sure.
I made it short. I wanted to say a quick thank you to Sandra. Also, all the people who support the Shriners. I went 2 years ago. You get a private tour and private lunch. The question I had was kind of lingering is about the south side of the building where the canvas covers the garbage area. It's been a year and 2 months, and I've asked a couple times different people. I guess we'll get that repaired. But why I brought it up today was because we're starting to get the fruit flies back. I guess that's to Terry. Good timing, Sandra.
You guys know anything about
Noted. I made a note, Tom, and I will follow up again.
So Terry's made a note and she will follow up.
Absolutely right. Somebody had to take care of that work.
Thank you for bringing it up, but yes, there needs to be a cleanup at the western end of the building.
All right, any other questions? No, that's a wrap. All right, we'll see you guys next month.